Can achieving more with less effort really be that simple? The answer lies in the genius three-step guide from Musashi, history's greatest swordsman. This exact system helped him win 60 duels while barely training, and now it can be your blueprint for breaking free from endless work. Let's start with step number 1. Study the field before you swing. Imagine a samurai stepping onto the battlefield. Before raising his sword, he stands still and scans every detail. The height of the grass, the slope of the land, the angle of the sun. He checks if the enemy looks tired or overconfident. Only after gathering these clues does he plan his first move. For Musashi, this moment of careful observation was crucial. He believed that acting without understanding the field leads to wasted effort and easy mistakes. In our modern world, the hustle demon pushes us to leap into tasks the second they appear, no questions asked. It whispers, work faster, don't think, just do. That might sound productive, but it often leads to half-finished projects, wrong turns, and late-night panics trying to fix errors we could have avoided. Musashi would say we're swinging blindly, hoping brute force will save us. In truth, we end up working more and achieving less. By contrast, studying the field means taking a short pause to see the bigger picture before you start. Let's say you have 5 tasks on your plate. The hustle demon says, do them all now. But Musashi's way is to pause for a moment and ask, which task truly matters most? What resources do I need? Is there a simpler path? This thinking might only take a few minutes, but it can save hours of busy work. You might realize one of the tasks is unnecessary, or that 2 tasks can be combined. The key is that you're not ignoring your work. You're making sure your effort goes where it counts. Try it today. Before you dive into a new project, gather some information first. Talk to the right people, skim important data, or map out the main steps. Look for any hidden pitfalls or a quicker route. Once you do this, you'll notice the hustle demon starts to weaken. It thrives on panic and rash moves, but you're breaking that cycle by calmly surveying the field. Now you're ready to strike with a plan instead of reacting at random. Of course, simply observing is one piece of the puzzle. Musashi also believed in the power of resting at the right moment, even if it looks strange to outsiders. This next principle about taking strategic pauses might surprise you even more, yet it holds the key to mastering your energy. Step 2. Embrace strategic pauses, win by waiting. In a world that shouts go, 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 Musashi shows us the power of holding back at just the right moments. It's all about strategic pauses. The minute you think of slowing down, that inner demon voice might hiss, "You're lazy. Everyone else is working harder than you." But Musashi would smile at that because he understood something crucial. Rushing all the time is actually less effective than working in intentional bursts with smart breaks in between. In a fight, the samurai who swings wildly without rest tires quickly and makes sloppy mistakes. The wise warrior watches, waits, and chooses the perfect time to strike. One of Musashi's lesser-known battles against the Yoshioka school reveals this. They planned an ambush with dozens of armed men, expecting Musashi to arrive on time for a fair duel. Instead, he showed up much earlier than the agreed hour and hid, silently observing them set up. The Yoshioka fighters grew restless, losing patience as they waited for a duel that never started. By the time Musashi finally revealed himself, they were mentally drained and off their game. He then attacked with speed and confidence, ending the fight swiftly with minimal effort. His quiet waiting in the shadows gave him a clear advantage before he ever drew his sword. We can do the same in modern life, minus the ambush, of course. Instead of replying to every email or text the second it pings, batch your responses. Take mini breaks between tasks to clear your head. Go for a quick walk or just breathe deeply for a few minutes. They're like Musashi hiding in the trees, gathering energy and insight. As a famous saying goes, give me 6 hours to chop down a tree and I'll spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. Musashi lived this principle. He would step back, observe, and prepare so that when he finally acted, it was sharp, sudden, and unstoppable. Never feel guilty for resting when you need it. Overworking leads to burnout, which helps no one. Even a short nap or a quiet cup of tea can repay itself tenfold in fresh creativity. Think about times you solved a tough problem after you quit obsessing over it. That's the Musashi method at work. Withdraw briefly, come back stronger. By mastering your rhythm, action, pause, you stay in control of your energy and your strategy. Hustle culture screams that if you're not always grinding, you'll fail. But that's a lie. Strategic rest is a weapon, not a weakness. In Musashi's conflict with the Yoshioka fighters, his victory began before the clash. It started in the waiting. By now, you might be thinking, okay, I've cut out the fluff and I'm taking breaks. But eventually, I do have to work, right? How do I make sure I'm achieving more? Excellent question. And that leads us to Musashi's final principle. In fact, Musashi used it to win battles in mere moments that others might drag out for hours. Let's find out how. Step 3. The single strike mindset. When you've studied the battlefield and taken your strategic pauses, you still face the critical moment of action. This is where Musashi's most distinctive principle comes into play. Musashi once wrote, "It is not the same as the way of the carpenter. The carpenter uses a line to mark wood for cutting, but the swordsman cuts without a line." This means while others need multiple attempts to achieve results, the master accomplishes everything in one decisive move. In practical terms, this means identifying the keystone task, the one action that, when completed well, makes other tasks either easier or unnecessary. Instead of tackling all your work equally, find the load-bearing piece that supports everything else. For example, writing an excellent core document might eliminate the need for 5 follow-up documents. Having one crucial conversation with the right person might replace 10 meetings. Building one remarkable feature might attract users more effectively than 5 decent ones. This approach requires ruthless prioritization. Before starting your day, ask, if I could only complete one task today, which would create the greatest forward momentum? Then execute that task with complete concentration and excellence. The hustle demon wants you moving in circles, checking off small items to feel productive, but Musashi would identify the vital point and strike there with maximum force. Often, this means working on what's most difficult rather than what's most convenient. Consider how Musashi defeated the martial arts school that sent dozens of warriors against him. Instead of fighting each one, he targeted their leader, removing the head to collapse the entire structure. Apply this same thinking to your projects and challenges. The single strike approach makes your work moments incredibly potent, so you naturally need fewer of them. When you do act, concentrate overwhelming force at the critical point rather than dispersing your energy across the entire battlefield. Master this principle and watch as you achieve significantly greater outcomes with remarkably less effort. That's the essence of Musashi's system for outperforming everyone while working less than they do. By applying this final piece of Musashi's wisdom, you complete the puzzle of efficient mastery. Now let's see how these principles work together to defeat the inner hustle demon once and for all. Notice how each step weakens the inner demon's hold. You refuse to waste effort, you rest without guilt, and you channel your focus into a singular strike. These actions defeat the lie that you must hustle non-stop to succeed. In reality, Musashi's system harnesses calm, precise effort to accomplish big things fast. Pick a single goal that truly counts, dive into it with full attention, then step back again. No frantic grind, no frantic mind, just strategic, purposeful work. Cut the noise, pause to recover, and make every strike count. That's the entire framework for achieving more by doing less.